Queen's College is a constituent college of the University of Cambridge, England. Queen's is one of the oldest and largest colleges of the university, founded in 1448 by Margaret of Anjou, and has some of the most recognisable buildings in Cambridge. The college spans both sides of the River Cam, colloquially referred to as the light side and the dark side, with the world-famous mathematical bridge connecting the two. The college's alumni include heads of government and politicians from various countries, royalty, religious leaders, astronauts and Oscar nominees. Its distinguished alumni include Stephen Fry, Abba Eban and T.H. White. Its most famous matriculant is Desiderius or Erasmus, who studied at the college during his trips to England between 1506 and 1515. The college has a financial endowment of £54.9 million. The current president of the college is the senior economist and Labour Party advisor, Lord Eatwell. Past presidents of the college include St John Fisher. History. Queen's College was founded in 1448 by Margaret of Anjou, and refounded in 1465 by Elizabeth Woodville. This dual foundation is reflected in its orthography, Queen's, not Queens, although the full name is the Queen's College of St Margaret and St Bernard, commonly called Queen's College, in the University of Cambridge. In 1446 Andrew Dockett obtained a charter from King Henry VI to found St Bernard's College on a site now part of St Catherine's College. A year later the charter was revoked and Dockett obtained a new charter from the king to found St Bernard's College on the present site of Old Court and Cloister Court. In 1448 King Henry VI granted Margaret of Anjou the lands of St Bernard's College to build a new college to be called Queen's College of St. Margaret and St Bernard. On the 15th of April 1448, Sir John Wenlock, Chamberlain to Queen Margaret, laid the foundation stone at the southeast corner of the chapel. By 1460 the library, chapel, gatehouse and the President's Lodge were completed and the chapel licensed for service. In 1477 and 1484 King Richard III made large endowments to the college, which were later taken away by King Henry VII after his forces defeated the House of York at the Battle of Bosworth Field. Between that time and the early 1600s many improvements were made and new buildings constructed, including the Walnut Tree Building, which was completed in 1618. Since then the college has refurbished most of its old building and steadily expanded. During the English Civil War the college sent all its silver to help the king. As a result, the president and the fellows were ejected from the posts. In 1660 the president was restored. In 1777 a fire in the Walnut Tree Building destroyed the upper floors which had to be rebuilt 1778–82. In February 1795 the college was badly flooded, reportedly waist-deep in the cloisters. In 1823 the spelling of the college's name officially changed from Queen's to Queens. The earliest known record of the college boat club dates from 1831. In 1862 the St Bernard's Society, the debating club of the college, was founded. In 1884 the first football match was played by the college team and the St Margaret's Society was founded. In 1980, the college for the first time allowed females to matriculate as members of college, with the first female members of the college graduating in 1983. Coat of arms. These arms are those of the first foundress Queen Margaret of Anjou, which she derived from those of her father René, Duke of Anjou, with the addition of a green border for the college. The 6 quarters of these arms represent the 6 lordships which he claimed. The green border appears to be intended as a difference for Queen's College. These arms are of interest because the 3rd quarter uses gold on silver, a combination which is extremely rare in heraldry. The cross potent is a visual pun on the letters H and I, the first 2 letters of Jerusalem. Badge. These are not the official arms of the college, but, rather, a badge. The silver boar's head was the badge of King Richard III of England. Richard's wife, Anne Neville, was the 3rd Queen Consort to be patroness of the college. The earliest evidence of the college using a boar's head as a symbol is from 1544. The gold cross stands for St. Margaret, and the gold crosier for St. Bernard, the 2 patron saints of Queen's College. There is also a suggestion that the saltire arrangement of these is an allusion to Andrew Dockett, the first president of Queen's. Today, this badge is widely used by college clubs, and also appears in connection with food or dining. Buildings and location. Queen's College has some of the most recognizable buildings in Cambridge. It combines medieval and modern architecture in extensive gardens. It is also one of only 2 colleges in which buildings straddle both sides of the River Cam, its 2 halves joined across the river by the famous mathematical bridge. Queen's College is located in the center of the city. It is the 2nd southernmost of the colleges on the banks of the River Cam, primarily on the east bank. Cloister Court. President's Lodge of Queens is the oldest building on the river at Cambridge. The President's Lodge sits in Cloister Court. The cloister walks were erected in the 1490s to connect the old court of 1448 ninths with the riverside buildings of the 1460s, thus forming the court now known as Cloister Court. Essex Building, in the corner of the court, was erected 1756–60, is surnamed after its builder, James Essex the Younger, a local carpenter who had earlier erected the wooden bridge. Old Court. Old Court was built between 1448 and 1451. Stylistic matters suggest that this was designed by and built under the direction of the master mason, Reginald Ely, who was also at the same time erecting the original Old Court of King's College and the start of King's College Chapel, whereas King's was built using very expensive stone. Queen's Old Court was made using cheaper clunch with a red brick skin. Queen's was finished within 2 years, whereas King's Old Court was never finished, and the chapel took nearly a century to build. The War Memorial Library is the present student library. In an earlier incarnation, the War Memorial Library was formerly the original chapel, part of Old Court. It was named in honor of Queen's College alumni and members who died in the service of World War II. Before the 1940s, the student library was the present Old Library. The Old Library was built in 1448, part of Old Court, and sitting between the President's Lodge and the original chapel. It is one of the earliest purpose-built libraries in Cambridge. It houses a collection of nearly 20,000 manuscripts and printed books. It is especially notable because nearly all printed books remain in their original bindings, due to the fact that Queen's has never been wealthy enough to afford rebinding all the books in a uniform manner, as was the fashion in the 18th century. It is also notable because it contains the earliest English celestial globes, owned once by Queen's Fellow of Mathematics Sir Thomas Smith, and because its medieval lecterns were refashioned into bookshelves, still present today. Walnut Tree Court. Walnut Tree Court was erected 1616–18. Walnut Tree Building on the east side of the court dates from around 1617 and was the work of the architects Gilbert Wragg and Henry Mason at a cost of £886.90. Only the ground floor of the original construction remains after a fire in 1777, so it was rebuilt from the first floor upwards between 1778 to 1782, and battlements were added to it in 1823. This court was formerly the site of a Carmelite monastery founded in 1292, but is now the location of the college chapel and various fellows' rooms. The present walnut tree in the court stands on the line of a former wall of the monastery, and was a replacement for an older one in the same position after which the court was named. The college chapel in Walnut Tree Court was designed by George Frederick Bodley and consecrated in 1891. It follows the traditional college chapel form of an aisle-less nave with rows of pews on either side, following the plan of monasteries, reflecting the origins of many colleges as a place for training priests for the ministry. The triptych of paintings on the altarpiece panel may have originally been part of a set of 5 paintings, a late 15th century Flemish, and are attributed to the master of the view of St. Gudule. They depict, from left to right, the agony in the Garden of Gethsemane, the resurrection of Jesus, and Christ's appearance to the disciples. Friars Court. The college experienced a growth in student numbers during the 19th century, bringing with it the need for additional student accommodation. The President's second garden was taken as the site for new student accommodation called Friars Building, designed by W. M. Fawcett and built in 1886. The building, named after the Cambridge White Friars, now accommodates 52 students and fellows. Friars Building is flanked to the east by the Dockett Building. Dockett Building was designed by Cecil Greenwood Hare and built in 1912 from thin red Daneshill brick with Corsham stone dressings and mullioned windows. It stands on the former site of almshouses which were maintained by benefaction from former president of the college Andrew Dockett. The almshouses were demolished in 1911 to make way for the new building. On the demolition of the almshouses, a fund was made available for the payment of pensions, always to 8 women, in accordance with the will of Dockett. The Erasmus Building completes what it now called Friars Court on the west. It was designed by Sir Basil Spence and erected in 1959, and is notable for being the first college building on the backs to be designed in the modernist tradition. Due to its modern design, the building generated some controversy and the project encountered strong resistance at the time. It went ahead, however, and was officially opened by H.M. the Queen Mother in June 1961. The lawn in front includes a crown bowling green laid out in the 16th century. Cripps Court. Cripps Court, incorporating Leon Court, was designed by Powell, Moyer and Partners and built in stages between 1972 and 1988. Its brutalistic architecture houses a bar, creche, and gymnasium with squash courts, 171 student bedrooms, 3 fellows' flats, a solarium, dining hall and kitchens, various function rooms, a large multi-purpose auditorium and 3 combination rooms. It was the benefaction of the Cripps Foundation and was the largest building ever put up by the college. A 4th floor was added in 2007, providing student accommodation and fellows' offices. Fisher Building, named after St. John Fisher, was erected in 1936 and designed by G.C. Drinkwater. It continued the Queen's tradition of red brick. The window frames are of teak, and all internal woodwork is oak. It was the first student accommodation in Queens to lie west of the river and was also the first building in Queens to have bathrooms and toilets on the staircase landings close to the student rooms. These were so evident that it prompted an observer at the time to comment that the building seemed to have been designed by a sanitary engineer. The mathematical bridge. The mathematical bridge crosses the River Cam and connects the older half of the college with the newer western half. It is one of the most photographed scenes in Cambridge, the typical photo being taken from the nearby Silver Street Bridge. popular fable is that the bridge was designed and built by Sir Isaac Newton without the use of nuts or bolts, and at some point in the past students or fellows attempted to take the bridge apart and put it back together. The myth continues that the over-ambitious engineers were unable to match Newton's feat of engineering, and had to resort to fastening the bridge by nuts and bolts. This is why nuts and bolts can be seen in the bridge today. This story is false. The bridge was built of oak in 1749 by James Essex the Younger to the design of the master carpenter William Etheridge. 22 years after Newton died, it was later repaired in 1866 due to decay and had to be completely rebuilt in 1905. The rebuild was to the same design except made from teak, and the stepped walkway was made sloped for increased wheelchair access. A handrail was added on one side to facilitate the Queen Mother crossing the bridge on her visits to the college. The ever-present bold heads are more visible in the post-1905 bridge, which may have given rise to this failed reassembly myth. Gallery. Academic profile. Queen's College accepts students from all academic disciplines, except the combination of education with English and drama. Similar to other Cambridge colleges, all candidates go through an interview process. Undergraduate applicants in computer science, economics and engineering are expected to have taken the thinking skills assessment before they can be admitted. As in all other Cambridge colleges, undergraduate education is based on the tutorial system. Most undergraduate supervisions are carried out in the college, though for some specialist subjects undergraduates may be sent to tutors in other colleges. The faculty and academic supervisors associated with the colleges play a very important part in the academic success of students. The college maintains strong ties with Cambridge Judge Business School and has a growing graduate community, including a lively mix of doctoral, medical and PGCE students. The college also maintains an extensive library, which supplements the university libraries. In 2016, Queen's ranked 6th in the Tompkins table, which ranks the 29 undergraduate Cambridge colleges according to the academic performance of their undergraduates. Its highest position was 2nd and its average position has been 8th. In 2015, 28.8% of Queen's undergraduates achieved firsts. Student life. The buildings of Queen's College include the chapel, the hall, 2 libraries, a bar, and common rooms for fellows, graduates and undergraduates. There are also extensive gardens, lawns, a sports ground and boathouse. The college also owns its own punts which may be borrowed by students, fellows and staff. On-site accommodation is provided for all undergraduate and many graduate students. Undergraduates are guaranteed accommodation on the main college site for 3 years, while graduates usually live in college residence located in Newnham Village, a 15-minute walk from the central site. The college also owns several houses and flats in Cambridge, which are usually occupied by doctoral students and married couples. Members of the college can choose to dine either in the hall, where 3-course meals are served and members must wear academic gowns, or in the buttery, where food can be purchased from a cafeteria-style buffet. Despite being an ancient college, Queen's is known for being among the more open and relaxed Cambridge colleges. The college provides facilities to support most sports and arts. Queen's has active student societies known as the Junior Combination Room and the Middle Combination Room, which represent the students and organize various activities for undergraduate and graduate students respectively. There are a variety of clubs ranging from wine tasting and amateur dramatics to the Queen's College Boat Club. Queen's has a strong reputation for music and drama, with the Fitzpatrick Hall providing theatre and concert space for students and societies from across the university. Sports. The college has a rich sporting history, enjoying much success in most of the major sports on offer in Cambridge. It has sports grounds, a boathouse, squash courts and gym. The College Rowing Club, Queen's College Boat Club, is one of the oldest in the university, with the earliest known record of the College Boat Club dates from 1831. The club's boathouse was built in 1986 and is shared with Magdalen College Boat Club. Like other Cambridge boat clubs, it takes part in a number of annual rowing races on the River Cam, Lent Bumps and May Bumps. Each year, QCBC also hosts the Queen's Ergs competition in the Michaelmas term, an 8x500 meters indoor rowing relay race open to novices only. It usually attracts over 1,000 rowers and is the second largest indoor rowing event in the UK. Queen's College Rugby Football Club plays rugby union against other Cambridge colleges in both a league and a knockout competition. The rugby club has produced several notable alumni, including Irish international star Mike Gibson, a former England captain John Spencer, Barry Holmes and Charles Nicholl. The College Football Club, QCAFC, part of the Cambridge University Association Football League, won the Cup as Knockout Cup competition in 2010-11 and the CUAFL Premier League title in 2015-16. Queen's is also traditionally strong in cricket, with QCCC playing the home games on the cricket ground in the Baton Road playing fields. Mayball. The college hosts a large, lavish Mayball every 2 years. In recent years, due to popularity, tickets have only been available to Queen's members and the guests. Highlights include an extravagant fireworks display and a variety of musical acts. Florence and the Machine, Bombay Bicycle Club, Kaiser Chiefs, Alex Clare and Claxons have played at the event. 2013 marked the centenary of Queen's Mayball. The event was wide-town. The entertainment included Simon Amstel and Bastille. Traditions. College Grace. The College Grace is customarily said before and after dinner in hall. The reading of Grace before dinner is usually the duty of a scholar of the college. Grace after dinner is said by the president of the senior fellow dining. The grace is said shortly after the fellows enter the hall, signaled by the sounding of a gong. The anteprandium is read after the fellows have entered, the postprandium after they have finished dining. However, the last grace is almost never used. A simply English after-dinner grace is now said, for these and all his mercies, for the Queen's our foundresses and for our other benefactors. God's holy name be blessed and praised. God preserve our Queen and Church. College rivalry. The college maintains a friendly rivalry with St. Catherine's College after the construction of the main court of St. Catherine's College on Cambridge's former High Street relegated one side of Queen's College into a back alley. College stamps. Queen's was one of only 3 Cambridge colleges to issue its own stamps. From 1883 the college issued its own stamps to be sold to members of the college so that they could prepay the cost of a college messenger delivering the mail. This was instead of placing charges for deliveries onto members' accounts, to be paid at the end of each term. The practice was stopped in 1886 by the British Post Office as it was decided that it was in contravention of the Post Office monopoly. Queen Mother's Standard. When the college patroness, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, died, she gave the college the right to fly her personal standard in her memory on the first day of Michaelmas term each year. Walking on the grass. Unlike most Oxbridge colleges, not even fellows may walk on the grass. People associated with the college. Notable former students. Presidents. Royal patronesses. The college enjoyed royal patronage in its early years. Then, after a 425-year break, Elizabeth Bowes-Lyon became the college patron to mark the 550th anniversary of the college's foundation. A portrait of the late Queen Mother by June Mendoza hangs in the senior combination room and the most recent court to be built in college, Lyon Court, is named after her. Since 2003, Queen Elizabeth II has been a patron of the college. In popular culture, the college has made its way into literature, film and television. Darkness at Pemberley by T.H. White features St. Bernard's College, a fictionalized version of Queen's College. In 1984, Queen's was the subject of an 8-part BBC fly-on-the-wall documentary entitled Queen's, a Cambridge College, Eskimo Day, written by Jack Rosenthal, and starring Maureen Lipman, Tom Wilkinson, and Alec Guinness, is about the relationship between parents and teenagers during an admissions interview day at Queen's College. There was also a sequel, Cold Enough for Snow, Starter for 10 starring James McAvoy, includes the filming of a University Challenge episode between Queen's College and Bristol University, in Kingdom, created by Simon Wheeler and Alan Whiting. Solicitor Peter Kingdom and his brother are both Cambridge graduates. In the 4th episode of the first series, Kingdom returns to Cambridge and meets his old tutor, when one of his clients alleges that her daughter has been rejected by his old college purely because of her working-class background. Although the college is never identified, it is Queen's, where Fry himself was a student, that appears on screen. Old Hall was used as the backdrop to the music video, Things We Lost in the Fire, by the band Bastille. Backing vocals were provided by the college choir. The college is the backdrop for The Secret Diary of a Porter Girl blog, created by Lucy Brazier, a former deputy head porter.